And Tom Fornelli, you changed clothes. We are pleased to welcome to the set here UCLA coach Deshaun Foster. Second year in a row, coach, we've gotten to spend some time with you going into the season. So I guess I want to start with, in the last 12 months, what were some things about your first year finally being the head coach of the Bruins that really stand out as things that have changed about this program?
Just mostly just the conference, being in a different conference, the travel. But other than that, I like where we're at now because I'm in familiar territory. So
to piggyback off that real quick, I remember a year ago you said, I'm wondering what this team is going to look like when they walk into these stadiums.
Exactly.
It's not quite like all the trips that you had in the old conference. How do you think your team handled some of those tougher road environments?
I think they did a really good job because I tried to find ways to have them. We would land and go see the facility. Mm-hmm. I didn't want that to be on game day that morning because, they want to tweet, they want to Instagram, TikTok, whatever they want to do. I wanted to get that out the day before so when we do come into the stadium, we're ready to play. But it's awesome. Being in the Big Ten, you get to play in venues that you don't usually get to play in, so we're excited. We were able to go to Penn State, played at Nebraska. Also played at Washington, something that we've done before. But, I'm just looking forward to this year going to Northwestern, Ohio State, and a couple other schools.
I remember early in the year texting these guys in our group chat during the Hawaii game. I was like, guys, UCLA, I don't know. And then later on in the year, it's like, this is a different ball team. Like, they're actually playing, they're competing, like they're fighting. When was the moment for you that you knew, like, all right, these guys are bought in, it's starting to really kind of come together?
When we hit that 3-game win streak.
Yeah.
It was, I want to say it was after the Minnesota game. So after the Minnesota game, if you would have came out to practice, you could never tell. After the Minnesota game, you couldn't tell our record by the way we were practicing. So I was just looking forward to these guys really coming out here and being resilient and not allowing the outcome of games carry over to the next week. And I think that's when we finally got in our groove and were able to win a couple games.
I know it's a story that's kind of flown under the radar, but you guys do have a new quarterback this year.
Nobody's talking about it, Coach.
Nobody's talked about it at all. But what has that been like for you to have, to have a quarterback like that with his skill set kind of fall in your lap unexpectedly and have the opportunity to get him? He's excited about coming home. We had a chance to talk with him. What's that process been like, getting him acclimated into your offense and developing continuity with his teammates?
He's a huge talent. When you get an opportunity to get a quarterback of his talent, you have to take that. And I'm just lucky that, we were able to develop a relationship prior to him coming to the school, just from seeing him play. Like, I might not have been a coach that was recruiting him, but I still was familiar with his gameplay and everything. But anytime you have a guy that can come in here and he was able to lead his team to the playoffs, and we can get him next season and he can come back home and play, and a lot of guys have already played with him that are in our program, the sky's the limit. So, it was kind of a no-brainer.
Will he be do you have to, because he got there late, he's cramming everything in there. Will you have to slowly implement the offense with him? He's going to be ready to pretty much run the whole offensive playbook week one? How do you see that process unfolding?
He's done a really good job of catching up, and Tino's done a good job of zooming with him and constantly just meeting with him, and they're getting a lot, and him and all the other quarterbacks too. It's not just Nico. So, but it comes down to coaching, In NFL, you get opportunities that you get signed on Wednesday. You might have to play Sunday. And, I have the coaches, and I don't think they're shying away from this opportunity, and they're just looking forward to this challenge. We have a big-time quarterback, and we have to make sure that he's ready to play.
Speaking of getting there late, you got there late last year because Chip didn't, decide to leave until really late. How much different is it for you now that you've actually had a full, real offseason to implement your staff and how you want the program to be?
Just night and day. It's night and day. Because now, I was just able to insert my leadership on this team with a full year, and they understand that. Now, the running backs understood what the discipline, respect, and enthusiasm, what that meant, but getting the whole team to resonate and really understand, I had to just be in front of them more. And now I finally got the opportunity to continue to go, and so we're excited. I'm looking forward to this. This is a big challenge that we have coming to this year, and we open with Utah as another team that's very similar to our conference, so we're excited about this challenge.
You mentioned Tino earlier. What was it that attracted you to bringing him in and adding him to your staff?
A lot of people don't know, but Tino's father was our D-line coach in Carolina when I played. So I've known Tino since he was 12, 11. He was a little kid. And I'm just watching him develop and just seeing how fiery he is and the passion that he has behind coaching. It was just a no-brainer, really.
What should we expect from that offense?
A lot of points.
Yeah, that's what he does everywhere, right?
Yes.
You know, like all throughout his career, it's always been production. It's always been there.
And he's had a really good track record with one-year quarterbacks. Getting him for a year, turning it around, and that kid being successful. So we're just looking forward to this, and I know he's excited about this challenge because, you know, being in the Big Ten, you're going to play some big-time ball, and you need big-time players.
They say there's really no playbook to be a head coach, right? There's a playbook for an offense, there's a playbook for a defense, pretty straightforward, but there's not for a head coach. What, after being on the job for a full year, what changes or tweaks are you making to yourself?
Just growth. You have to be able to, you got to be able to grow. It's not, and even if I'm going in year 40, you still got to be able to grow. Because a lot of these coaches that have coached for a long time, it's transitioning, it's changing. This game has changed. You know, it's not the same game when I played. It's not the same game when I started coaching. And it's most definitely a different game when I'm the head coach now, too. So I don't think that there's many things that I could have done to get me prepared for this, like being an offensive coordinator. I don't think that gets you prepared for being a head coach because you're still not managing other coaches. And, you know, you still might have your position coaches, but you're still not, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it's just not that. And now I'm pretty excited about what's going on because I'm familiar. Everything that I've done, we've done it. Like you guys said, I got the job late and I had to hit it running. That's all I knew. But now having a complete off season and really putting time into the players that we're bringing in, the coaches that we're bringing in, and making sure that we're evaluating everything the right way, I feel pretty good.
We are excited to see your next year with the Bruins. He is UCLA coach Deshaun Foster. Coach, thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the Cover 3 podcast.
Appreciate you. Thank you.